Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to EOSN for today's broadcast day. First, we're going to be bringing you a Game 1 featuring, as we mentioned in the description, one of the favorites of the entire baseball season. The Houston Astros opening their season against the Detroit Tigers in a very intriguing pitching matchup. Zimmerman will be taking on the former ace of his staff, Justin Verlander. Should be a really fun one. Before we get started, let's go ahead and take you to the bracket and show you where we're at. So, as you can see, it's best 2 out of 3. Right now, the only team game that is played to Game 2 is the Tampa Bay-New York Yankees series, and Tampa Bay won that 3-2. New York won that 5-4. Game 3 in Tampa Bay, but that won't be for a long time. Winner of that game will take on the Rangers in Round 2. Over in the NL, only one game has been played, and that is Game 1 featuring the Diamondbacks and the Cardinals. Let's see, unlock. At set. There we go. Featuring the Diamondbacks and the Cardinals. That game, of course, won by the Cardinals. Final score there, 7-3. Congratulations, ID. So that's how that happened. Now we're going to bring you this one. Game 1 featuring the Houston Astros, number 5, taking on the Detroit Tigers. The winner of this one will take on the winner of the number 2 Baltimore Orioles and the Cleveland Indians in Round 2. So that's how that is. And right after this broadcast, we're going to take about a 10-minute break. Give me some time to get set up for our first conference semifinal in the NHL. That would be the Arizona Coyotes at the St. Louis Blues. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. All right. Where is my game sounds? Guess we don't have any. All right, so starting lineup for... hold on. I'm going to reset this because I feel like the game sounds actually put a lot into it. So we're just going to take you to the intro screen really fast. We're going to exit. Yep. And there we go. Game. New game. Detroit at Houston. There we go. Sounds on. Crowd noise on. Choose starters. Zimmerman, Verlander. Starting lineups. Load lineup, Detroit AL, and then home lineup, Houston AL, play ball. Play ball! There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So, take you to the game now. Here we go. So, Game 1, 2 out of 3. As you can see here, Houston in their home jerseys on a beautiful Texas afternoon. So, the starting lineups, first we're going to go with the Detroit Tigers. Leading off will be second baseman Ian Kinsler. Center fielder Mike Mathok, I think that's how you say it, Mathok, will be the center, will be batting second. Right fielder Andrew Romaine at third. Justin Upton, the left fielder, will be batting cleanup. Nick Castellanos, the third baseman, will bat 5th. James McCann, the catcher, will bat 6th. Miguel Cabrera, the first baseman, will bat 7th. Jose Iglesias, the shortstop, will bat 8th. And Victor Martinez will bat 9th. For the Houston defensive lineup, you have Marwin Gonzalez in left field, George Springer in center, Josh Reddick in right, Thomas Dixon at third, Altuve at second, Gurriel at first, Correa at shortstop, and a battery featuring Justin Verlander pitching to Brian McCann. Justin Verlander's season last year, 15-8, 3.36 ERA, 219 strikeouts, only on 170 hits. So we're ready to go. Leading off for the Tigers will be Ian Kinsler. Verlander ready to roll here, and the Houston Astros season is underway. Here comes opening pitch. And it's going to be wide, so we're going to go again. This one grounded right at Correa. Correa flips it over to Gurriel, and that's out number 1. So good start here for the Astros. Justin Verlander will now take on Mikey Mathock. And the pitch. And he walked him, so
walks, and that wasn't close.
Now the Tigers looks like they're going to throw in a hit and run there. We have Beatles Eternally joining us in the chat. Beatles, glad to see you. I was hoping we'd see you at some ball games this summer since we know that you are a baseball super fan. Hit and run so far being employed by the Tigers as Verlander kicks and fires. And he walks Romaine, so not a very good start for the Houston Astros. They get one quick out, and then they walk the next two batters. Here comes Upton with runner in scoring position. Verlander kicks, fires. And this one, fly ball into right field. Reddick is going to make the catch, and the base runners hold. So 2 down, and here comes Nick Castellanos, the third baseman. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, and the battle begins. And it's a wild pitch. And that's going to put Mathcock over on third and Romaine over on second. So now the go-ahead run is 90 feet away. Pitch to Castellanos. This one, fly ball into center field. It's going to drop and get past Springer. One run's going to score. Another run scores surrounding third, and that's going to be an RBI double for Nick Castellanos to kick this one off. Verlander struggling early. Here comes James McCann. Catcher for the Tigers is another wild pitch. And some major control issues so far by Justin Verlander in this opening day matchup. Here comes the pitch from McCann. This one into shallow right field. It's going to drop, and that's another run scored. 3 runs here in the first inning. 7th batter faced will be Miguel Cabrera. He is always dangerous. Justin Verlander. This might be the surprise of the season, folks. And Cabrera wants a walk, but he isn't going to get it. Also, this might be because the Detroit Tigers has played with Justin Verlander for a long time, so they know what he's going to throw. And this one, fly ball into center field. It's going to get past Springer's head. McCann rounds third. He's getting waved home, and that's going to be a 4-run lead for the Tigers. Man, something is not right with Justin Verlander. The manager of the Astros goes out there to kind of talk to him, figure out what's going on. Verlander might not even last an inning. He's got to calm down. Now he's going to face Jose Iglesias, the shortstop, and the pitch. This one, ground ball hit right at Altuve. Altuve is going to make the grab, kicks it over to Gurriel, and the inning is over. So, going into the bottom of the first, it's 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 4-0 Detroit. Dixon, Springer, and Altuve due up for the Astros. Good to have you here, Beatles Eternally, as he says it's good to be here. So, bottom of the first, leading off for the Astros will be third baseman Thomas Dixon. Zimmerman kicks and fires. And first, let's look at Zimmerman's line from last year. He's 8 for 13, 6.07 ERA, 160 innings pitched, 103 strikeouts. So, they could do some damage to him. About to find out. Dixon. Fly ball into center field, and that's going to be out number 1. So let's go ahead and go over the batting lineup for the Houston Astros. Leading off will be the third baseman, Thomas Dixon. Just to let you guys know, he is a created player. So that is how that goes off. I have a very good friend whose name is Thomas Dixon. He's a super Houston Astros fan. And he plays third on our team. So he is the third baseman for the Houston Astros in my universe. George Springer will be batting second at center field. Jose Altuve, the second baseman, will be batting third. Carlos Correa, the shortstop, will be batting cleanup. Marwin Gonzalez, the left fielder, bats 5th. Josh Reddick, the right fielder, bats 6th. Yuli Goulier, the first baseman, will bat 7th. Carlos Beltran, designated hitter, bat 8th. And Brian McCann will bat 9th. For the defensive lineup for the Tigers, you have Upton in left, Mathuk, in center field, Romaine in right, Castellanos at third, Kinsler at second, Cabrera at first, Iglesias at short, and a battery featuring Zimmerman to McCann. Zimmerman getting ready to face George Springer. Dangerous guy here, and Springer doesn't get the strikeout. We'll see what he does here. This one. Ground ball to shortstop. Iglesias flips it to Cabrera, and that's going to be out number 2. Here comes Jose Altuve. Pitch by Zimmerman to Altuve. And it's going to be up to Altuve's card. We'll see what he does here. And he grounds out to the shortstop, so 2 straight to Iglesias, and now we will go to the top of the second. After 1, it's 4-0 Detroit. Martinez, Kinsler, and Mathuk due up for the Tigers. Yeah, checking in on the chat room. Beatles says that was messy. Verlander is not himself. Yeah, something is up. Hopefully we can have a cleaner inning from him here as Verlander will get ready to face Martinez, Kinsler, and Mathuk coming up. Verlander to Martinez. First pitch. Swinging and a miss, and down goes Martinez. That might be a sign that he's waking up and ready to go. Here comes Ian Kinsler, who's 0 for 1. Can he get him out again? And he walked Kinsler. So Verlander clearly having some control issues tonight, or this afternoon. Verlander kicks and delivers. And it's going to be up to the ballpark card. Oh, and we got a rare play. And since it'll come up in a window that I don't have slated for OBS, I'll just read it out loud. Here we go. All right, slow roller fielded by the center fielder McCann, who possibly bobbles, then possibly throws wild to first, resolved by rolling against the center field, the catcher error rate. First for the bobble, then for the throw. No error by Brian McCann. Kinsler is going to get thrown out at first. So it's 2 down.
Double play.
How did they get the double play? I don't get that, but okay. So, yeah, so he threw to first, and then they went to second to get Kinsler. So it is a double play. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Correa, Gonzalez, and Reddick due up for the Stros in the bottom of the second. It's 4-0 Detroit. Good rebound by the Houston defense to get a pretty quick inning there. Now they got to get the bats going. And it's going to be all up to Carlos Correa. Thank you, Beatles. I was actually worried about the in-game audio if it was if the balance was off, because I'm hearing it really, really loud in my headset, but I went and messed with the equalizer settings in OBS, so I'm glad to hear that the audio mix is really well. So Jordan Zimmerman getting ready to pitch to Carlos Correa. Correa, his first at-bat of the young season. And the pitch. And it's blank, so we'll go to Correa's card. Correa. Fly ball into right field. Romaine makes the catch, and that's going to be out number 1. Here comes Marwin Gonzalez. Switch hitter taking on the right-handed batter. Or switch hitter taking on the right-handed pitcher, and the pitch. Blank, so we'll see what happens here. 2-6. Fly ball into right field again. Romaine's going to make his second straight put out. And now Josh Reddick will go up. See what he can accomplish here. Range play at the ballpark. We'll see what happens. 6-1, and that's going to be grounder hit at Kinsler. It's going to not get past him. What a diving catch by Kinsler. Flips it over to Miggy for out number 3. So no hits, no runs, no errors. It's 4-0 Detroit again. Romaine, Upton, and Castellanos due up in the top of the third. Beautiful day here at Minute Maid Park as we are playing game one. Well, thank you, Beatles. He says that I like the audio and the call very much. It's a good game. So thank you so much for that compliment. I'll continue the work and I'll continue to get better too, hopefully. Justin Verlander taking on Andrew Romaine. Romaine is 0 for 0. He walked and later scored as part of that 4-run opening inning. Verlander would like nothing more than to get him out here. And the pitch. Oh, and Romaine wants a walk. He's arguing with the umpire, but he can't argue balls and strikes. So he says, be quiet and get back in the batter's box. And the next pitch, 3-3. Ground ball hit to Gurriel. Gurriel step on the bag, and that's going to be out number 1. So now he'll take on Justin Upton, who's 0 for 1. Power hitter. Had a good year last year, and it's going to translate well in this season. And he's going to go ahead and just walk him.
Walks, and that wasn't close.
And the infield setting up for the double play. Verlander might not make it much longer as he's going to be facing Castellanos. He's 1 for 1 with that double. 2 RBIs to get this whole thing rolling. The pitch to Castellanos. This one, fly ball into deep center field. Springer makes the catch, and that's going to be 2 down. Here comes James McCann. 1 for 1 with a run scored and the RBI. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and down goes McCann. Verlander gets through the inning with no hits, no runs, and no errors. It's 4-0 Detroit. Gurriel, Beltran, and McCann due up for the Astros. They've got to get it going here if they're going to crawl out of a 4-0 hole going to the bottom of the third. All right, Jordan Zimmerman. 2 innings pitched, no runs, no hits, no errors, no earned runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. So it's all been his defense getting the job done. As if it's on the ground, we're going to do an error check to Gurriel. And it's not. This one's going into left field. Shallow ball, and it drops. That's a single for Houston, and they have their first hit of the night. And listen to that crowd go. Jordan Zimmerman now faces Carlos Beltran, the Houston Astros legend, returning home for one more season. Said this will be his last year. We will see him, so we'll see what happens here. Range play. They're going to test Beltran. Beltran is going to test. 6-4. Fly ball, left field. It's going to be testing Upton. He's got a 5 out of 6 chance to make this one. And he's running, makes the easy catch. Well, not easy. He made it look easy, and that's going to be out number 1. Brian McCann up, and it looks like Gurriel's ready to go on contact. The pitch. McCann. Fly ball, shallow right field. Kinsler Romaine can't decide what's going to happen. It drops past Romaine. That could be extra bases for McCann. Let's check out Gurriel right here. So the roll, lead runner advances, ball cut off, and trailing runners thrown out. So Gurriel will get to third. McCann thrown out at second. Good relay there by the Tigers, but 2 down, and Gurriel 90 feet away. Here comes Dixon, who's 0 for 1 right now. Can Dixon drive in a run for the Astros? 1-3. It's going to be an air check if it's on the ground. We'll see what happens here. Fly ball, center field. That's a single. Here comes Gurriel, and the Astros are on the board. Thomas Dixon with the first Houston Astro RBI of the 2018 Baseball Classic. Here comes George Springer, the power man. If he can put a fly ball over the wall here at Minute Maid Park, this would be a 1-run game and everything would be changed. Pitch by Zimmerman to Springer. Blank. It'll be up to Springer. We'll see what happens here. This one, fly ball into right field. Making the run is Upton, and he makes the catch. Justin Upton stops it again. So we go to the top of the 4th. It is 4-1 Detroit. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. Cabrera, Iglesias, Martinez due up for the Tigers. Game 2 of this series will not be for a while. I randomly scheduled the series. We would have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 20 games to play between now and game 2, so long break for these teams after this. Tomorrow's game, we'll actually have 2 games tomorrow. We will have, actually, sorry, we'll only have 1 game tomorrow. We'll have 2 games Sunday. So tomorrow we'll have game 1 of Cincinnati at Milwaukee, and then immediately following that, the next round of our NBA tournament, featuring the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Golden State Warriors, but it's all about America's game, what I would like to call the beautiful game, but I know a lot of people disagree with that. Right now, the game of baseball, I feel, is the most beautiful game of the Big Four. I mean, just look at the diamond, look at how everything's spread out. There's something special about this game, there's no doubt about it. As Miggy grounds out to the third baseman, Thomas Dixon, who fires it over to Gurriel for out number 1. Here comes Iglesias, 0 for 1. Verlander going to try to work his way through this 4th inning. The pitch, fly ball, center field. Springer makes the catch, and that's going to be out number 2. Here comes Victor Martinez, 0 for 1, struck out. Can Verlander get the side and the pitch? Swing and a miss, and down goes Martinez. That does not happen often. He put an absolute paint job there. 8 and 8. Look at that. So for those of you that don't know inside pitch baseball, what you do is on a strikeout, you roll a 20-sided die, and it has to come in at 8 or below to be a strikeout. He only has a 8 in 20 chance of striking out, and he got him. What a pitch by Justin Verlander. He's starting to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. This could be really, really fun in a minute. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Altuve, Correa, and Gonzalez due up for the Stros. It's 4-1 Tigers. Beatles Eternally, I absolutely agree. Baseball is magnificent. It's majestic. That's another word I'd put for it. I mean, there's just a mystique. There is a tradition. There's just something special about this game that I don't feel like any other of the Big Four, or even soccer for that matter, have. But that's just my opinion. So, here comes Jose Altuve. Can he do something special here? Zimmerman kicks and fires. And it's going to be up to Altuve's card. Altuve 0 for 1. Fly ball, center field. Mathuk makes the catch, and that's going to be out number 1. Jordan Zimmerman will now take on Carlos Correa, 0 for 1. But that 0 is not going to stand much longer. Correa is too good of a player not to get a hit in this game. And there it is, singles right past Iglesias. And now, this crowd, every time these Stros hit, they feel some momentum building in their favor. Here comes Marwin Gonzalez, 0 for 1. The pitch by Zimmerman. Swing and a miss, and down goes Gonzalez. Beautiful pitch by Zimmerman.
The swing and a miss, he struck him out.
Only a 50% chance of striking him out. Well, I mean, that's a pretty good chance, but here comes Josh Reddick. Reddick doesn't strike out a lot against righties. We'll see what he does here. And it's a blank card, so we'll see what he does with his. Fly ball into right field. Romaine makes the catch, and that's going to end the inning. So, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Kinsler, Mathuk, and Romaine due up for the Tigers. They lead the Astros 4-1 going into the top of the 5th. Beatles Eternally says, I also love how baseball seduces you into thinking it's easy when it really requires insane skill. That's absolutely right. I mean, the best in the world fail 70% of the time. So it looks easy, but it is extremely difficult. And he said, I agree, they couldn't have made a Field of Dreams with any other sport. That is absolutely true. There really, I'll say it one more time, there really is just something special about this game. So Kinsler ready to go here. He'll take on Verlander, who is out there laboring. If he gives up another hit, I don't know if he can stay out there much longer. Here comes the pitch by Verlander. Ground ball, or fly ball into left field. Gonzalez makes the catch, and that's out number 1. If Verlander could somehow last 6 innings, I would say 6 innings, and that would be a remarkable comeback considering he gave up 4 runs in the opening inning. But let's look at this little stat here. All right, hits. No, can't look at that there. Let's see. Let's look at, see if there's a way we can look at Verlander's stat line. Okay. He's given up 3 hits in this game, and 4 of those are runs. So, I mean, he's only, if he can shut him down from here, that would be a comeback. The pitch to Mathuk. Swing and a miss it. Down he goes.
He struck him out.
He was one of the guys who scored at him, and now he is taking revenge on this one. Here comes Andrew Romaine. And it's an air check. If there's a throw, we'll find out. 1-5. Fly ball into center field. Springer catches it, and we're out into the 6th. No hits allowed by Verlander, I don't think, since that first inning. He is caught up with himself, and he's looking pretty good. It's 4-1 Detroit. Gurriel, Beltran, and McCann due up in the bottom of the 5th for Houston. Verlander, it looks like he's going to stay in the game for at least 1 more inning for Houston, so we'll probably see him at the top of the 6th. Zimmerman kicks and fires to Gurriel, and it's a blank, so we'll see what happens here. Ground ball hit at Iglesias. Iglesias flips over to Cabrera, and that's out number 1. Here comes Beltran, who is 0 for 1, would like to get things going. And this one singles past the pitcher, and Beltran gets a single, and now it's going to set things up for McCann, and on deck and in the hole is Dixon, who got the RBI earlier. McCann 1 for 1. Can he keep it up? And Zimmerman wants to strike, but he knows deep down that that wasn't even close. Pitch, fly ball into center field, and that's going to be caught by Mathuk. Here comes Dixon. 1 for 2 with the RBI. Pitch by Zimmerman to Dixon. If it's on the ground, we'll do an error check. And it won't. Instead, it's going to single along the third base line, past the diving Castellanos, and now we have runners on first and second for George Springer. Springer represents the tying run if he can get on. Pitch by Zimmerman. Error if it's on the ground. We'll see what Springer does here. Ground ball to Castellanos. Castellanos picks it up, fires to Miguel, and gets Springer out. So, 0 runs on 2 hits, no errors. Upton, Castellanos, and McCann due up for the leading Detroit Tigers. They're up 4-1. Going in to the top of the 6th, Verlander will come back out for probably 1 more time. Shrink that down a little bit. One more time for Verlander. And let's see if he can get out of the 6th. Okay, so it'll be up to Upton's card. This one, fly ball into deep center field. Springer back to the track, makes the catch for out number 1. Here comes Nick Castellanos, 1 for 2, a double, and 2 RBIs. Verlander kicks, fires, swing and a miss, and down goes Castellano. Strikeout number 5, and he's 1 out away from getting into the 7th. Pitch by Verlander to McCann. If it's a throw, we'll check the error. McCann. Fly ball, left field, caught by Gonzalez, and that's going to be out number 3. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 4-1 Detroit. Altuve, Correa, and Gonzalez due up for the Astros. Beatles Eternally says, I've been checking out Inside Pitch, and I hope they will add more past season, especially the dead ball era, as well as baseball from the 30s and 40s. I really recommend the Inside Sports games. I love this game. I know you're not a big fan of football or any of the other sports, but those games are really, really well. I really believe that they have the best basketball and hockey game as well. Their baseball game is great. I really recommend Inside Sports, and I'm not getting anything from them for saying this. I'm just an extremely pleased customer. Bill Salm has been extremely helpful with me to me, so I strongly recommend you check them out. Jordan Zimmerman getting ready to face Altuve. Altuve 0 for 2, and the pitch tries to get Altuve to chase, but that ain't gonna happen. Next pitch. Ground ball hit right at Iglesias. Iglesias to Cabrera, out number 1. Here comes Carlos Correa. He'll kick and fire. It's going to be up to Correa's card. What happens here? Ground ball hit right at Kinsler. Kinsler flips to Correa, and that's going to be a quick 2 down. Here comes Marwin Gonzalez. 0 for 2 is struck out once. Zimmerman would love nothing more than to get him again. And he tried to, but not even close as Gonzalez holds up. Next pitch. This one lined right to the pitcher. And Zimmerman makes the catch and is like, okay, let's go to the 7th. And we will. Can Verlander make it through the 7th? I think this will be the last inning we see him in. He'll face Cabrera, Iglesias, Martinez in a 4-1 ball game. Verlander, quite the bounce back he had from that ugly first inning, wouldn't you guys say? As he's ready to go. Kicks and fires. And Miguel Cabrera is going to get a Minute Maid Park roll. This one, ground ball hit at Thomas Dixon. Dixon flips it over to Correa. Correa to Gurriel, and that's going to be out number 2 or 1. Here comes Iglesias, 0 for 2. Verlander kicks and fires. And Iglesias wants a walk, but they're saying nope. It's a strike, and Iglesias is going to take it out by lining one past Altuve, and that's going to be a base hit. And that will probably do it for Justin Verlander. He turned it around quick, allowing 4 runs in the first inning. He's on the hook for the loss, of course, but his offense is going to have to help him out. Verlander allowed 4 runs in the first inning. He went 6 1/3, allowed only 4 hits. So he's been almost perfect since that first inning. So a good comeback by him, as the fans here at Houston give him a huge round of applause as he departs and goes to the dugout. And it's going to be Tony Sipp coming in for the Astros. Another thing I really like about this game, and really all the Inside Sports games, Beatles, is that it is almost like watching the game unfold. You can make some decisions, but it's very easy to do it solitaire where you can just kind of watch the game unfold, and that's what I like. I like watching the games unfold instead of so much participating and making decisions. So Tony Sipp is going to come in, and he's going to face Victor Martinez. A good example is their pinch hitter and bullpen action. So you roll it rolls like a dice, and if it's in a certain range, then a certain reliever's going on depending on the situation. There's like different charts for different parts of the game. Like the one that came up, I don't think you saw it because, like I said, I don't have the window open to OBS, but it said something like innings 7 and 8 behind, and then it lists a range for like certain pitchers that would be thrown in that situation where you're behind in the late in the game. So Tony Sipp is going to come in. Oh, let's look at his stats from last year. He was 0-1, 5.79, 37 and a third innings pitched, 36 hits allowed, 39 strikeouts, and 14 walks. First pitch by Sipp to Martinez, and Martinez is going to test the ballpark. This one, ground ball to Correa. Correa over to first to Gurriel. Gurriel now to make double play, and we are stretching here in Houston. 4-1 Detroit. Reddick, Gurriel, Beltran due up. That's another thing I really like about this game is it automatically plays take me out to the ball game in the 7th inning stretch. So yeah, the great thing about the demo is it is good for 5 days, so it gives you more than enough time to try it out. He said, I'll download the demo tonight. Thanks for the recommendation. Mechanics sound interesting. It is. It really is. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, and Zimmerman will take on Reddick. Zimmerman, this may be the last time we see him, although, so this number right here, this 2, that's how many batters he can face before he starts to fatigue. This right here is how many events he can give up. So an event would be, he would lose an event for a hit, for an RBI, for a home run. So let's say you got runners on first and second, and a guy hits a home run. He would lose an event for the home run, and then he'd lose an event for each run that scores. And then when you get 0 zeros, you have to pull him. So Zimmerman, fatigue-wise, he's looking a little low, but momentum-wise, he's looking pretty good. He could go for a while. So it'll go to Josh Reddick. Reddick, fly ball into center field. Matthew makes the catch, and it's going to be out number 1. I also really like how the cards interact with each other. Like, let's see if we get a good example here of how they interact with each other. 1-4. So if he was exhausted, it would probably be what does the question mark mean? I can't remember exactly. So 1-4, basically, since he's not exhausted, it would have been a single. If this was a 1 through a 4, it'd be an automatic single. But since that doesn't happen, then it goes to Gurriel's card. And 4-4, and he'll fly out to right field. Upton makes the catch. And see, it's yellow, so he's fatigued, but his momentum is good. Take on Beltran. Beltran kicks, fires, tries to strike him out, but the D20 did not go Zimmerman's way. Beltran did not strike out a lot, especially against right-handed pitchers. So the next pitch. This one, ground ball, hits to Iglesias, flips to Cabrera, and that's going to be out number 3. So we go to the top of the 8th. It is 4-1 Detroit. No runs, no hits, no errors. Kinsler, Mathuk, and Romaine due up for the Tigers. All right, Ian Kinsler, 0 for 2 with 1 walk. And the pitch by Sipp. Oh boy, and this is a home run check. So this is where the card comes into play. So home run check, meaning if it comes this on the matrix, then it rolls a D20. If it's within this range, 1 to 3, which means he didn't give up a lot of home runs. But this time he did, and now what it'll do is it'll roll up here, and if the D20 is within 1 to 13, Kinsler has hit a home run. And the pitch, No, he didn't. Wow. So he fouls that one off. Missed it by about a foot. Oh, my goodness. Kinsler missed a home run barely. Next pitch. Lines out to Sip. So that's out number 1. Here comes Mike Mathuk. 0 for 1. Or 0 for 2 and the pitch. And tries to strike him out, but it isn't going to happen. So on the slashes in the parentheses, that's if it's on the right side of the grid of the square, it would be if that's to a right-handed batter. If it's on the left-handed side of a square, it's to a left-handed batter. So when you look, and same thing with hitters. So D/F9, D's on the left side. So if he's facing a left-handed pitcher, in this case he would double to right. If he's facing a right-handed batter, he would fly out to right. So we'll go ahead and roll Mathuk's card and see what happens. All right, I'm done explaining the game. Check it out. I think you'll really like it. Here we go. Ground ball right at Correa. Correa over to Correa, and that's out number 2. Here comes Romaine. Romaine 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And the pitch. And he almost hit him, so Romaine's going to take a deep breath and go again. This one, ground ball. Guess who? Correa to Gurriel, and that's out number 3. Jordan Zimmerman's going to come in the bottom of the 8th. He's going to face McCann, Dixon, and Springer in a 4-1 game. This is where the Astros have to get some damage done if they're going to come back in this game, because this is pretty much the heart of their order. Zimmerman to McCann, 1 for 2. Error check, so we'll check whoever this is to, as long as it's not a fly out. This one, fly ball into right field. It is going to be over the head of Mathuk, and that's going to be a double.
That'll shoot the gap and go to the wall, and one hops the wall.
So McCann is on with a double, and here comes Dixon. Dixon 2 for 3. Can he get another one? And the pitch to Dixon. And that one singles past the pitcher. McCann being ready to round third. He's going to score, and the Astros are down by 2. So the whole reason he singled past the pitcher was because in exclamation points, if he's, or parentheses, sorry, if he's fatigued, that's an automatic single. If not, then it's nothing. And watch his event 6. Well, yep, pitcher must be removed from the game. Okay, so that's because he gave up an exhausted single. So that's going to do it for Zimmerman. And Francisco Rodriguez is going to come in for the Tigers. Nobody down here in the bottom of the 8th. Rodriguez 2-5, 7 saves, 7.82 ERA, 25 in the 3rd innings pitched, 31 hits, 23 strikeouts, and only 10 walks. He'll face Springer, who represents the tying run for at least the 2nd time in this game. First pitch, kicks and fires. And it's a passed ball. Oh, nope, he fouled it off. Foul ball, repitch. I'm not exactly sure how that works out, but we'll follow the rules. And this one, if there's a throw, we're going to check the error. Springer. Ground ball to Iglesias. Iglesias fires it over to Cabrera, gets the out at second, as they're going to force out Dixon, and Springer will get on safe. Here comes Jose Altuve. Altuve now represents the tying run, and the pitch. And there is no wild, so we'll go here. 2-2. This one into right field. Shallow right field, it gets down. Springer's going to advance to third, and we got runners on the corners, and Carlos Correa represents the go-ahead run. Here we go, Houston. Rodriguez. Oh, 1 for 3, Correa. 3-2. Oh, Correa, fly ball into deep left field. Back it goes, and it's foul. Carlos Correa misses a go-ahead home run by about 2 feet. If that would have, the D20 would have been 1-13, then we would have a new leader in this one. But instead, it's going to be up to Correa. 3-2. Fly ball into left field. Upton makes the catch. It's going to be a sac fly as Springer tags up, and there he goes to score. So Correa does what he needs to do, and it's a one-run ball game with 2 down. Here comes Marwin Gonzalez. The pitch. 4-4. Swing and a miss, and down goes Gonzalez. But this game just got interesting. We go to the 9th inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. It is 4-3 Detroit. Upton, Castellanos, and McCann due up for the Tigers. Oh, boy. I think they're going to pull Tony Sipp. They are. And bring in, let's see who they bringing in. Joe Musgrove. Musgrove, 7-8 record, 2 saves, 4.77 ERA, 109 innings pitched, 117 hits, 98 strikeouts, and 27 balls. He'll face Upton, Castellanos, and McCann. Pitch to Upton, who is 0 for 2. And then here we go. This one, fly ball, or ground ball, hot past Correa, and that's going to be a single. So now Upton is on. Here comes Castellanos. Swing and a miss, and down goes Castellanos. McCann now 1 for 3 with an RBI. See what he does here. Swing and a miss, and down goes McCann. Can Musgrove send us to the bottom of the 9th in a 1-run game? Pitch to Miggy. And it's blank, so it'll be up to Cabrera's card. Ground ball, right to Altuve, Gurriel. And that is going to be out number 3. So here we go, bottom of the 9th. It is a 4-3 ball game, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Reddick, Gurriel, and Beltran due up for the Astros. Last chance. And they have pulled Francisco Rodriguez for Alex Wilson for the save opportunity. Wilson was 2-5 with 2 saves, 4.5 ERA, 60 innings pitched, 67 hits, 42 strikeouts, and 10 walks. So an interesting strategy here by the skipper from Detroit. Beatles Eternally says, I think I'll like it too much. Who needs sleep anyways? An Al Red Sox fan joining us in the crowd. He says, listening at work, hope all is well. Yeah, Beatles Eternally says, damn good game here, Al. So, yeah, it is. Hey, Al, if you're interested, we're going to be doing a hockey game about 10 to 15 minutes after this. It's the Western Conference semifinals featuring the St. Louis Blues hosting the Arizona Coyotes. So, Alex Wilson on to face Josh Reddick in a 1-run bottom of the 9th game. First pitch to Reddick, swing and a miss, and down goes Reddick. So now here comes Gurriel. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Pitch to Gurriel. And he tried to get the strikeout, but it was way outside, so we'll go again. This one popped up high. Cabrera makes the catch, and that's going to be 2 down. And Carlos Beltran, who's 1 for 3, is the last hope for the Astros to try to get back in this one. Pitch by Alex Wilson. It's blank, so it'll be up to Beltran's card. We'll see what he does here. Ground ball hit to Castellanos. Castellanos, Cabrera, and that's the ball game. So that's how that one will end. So a rough loss there for the Houston Astros. So let's put this in here. So there it is. Detroit leads this one. Here, I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Detroit leads it 1-0 in a best 2 out of 3. Let's go ahead and show you guys the stats for this one. All right, so player of the game, Zimmerman went 4 innings. He gets the win. Why do they only have... Hold on. Let's see. So, yeah, Wilson gets the save. Zimmerman gets the win. Verlander gets the loss. A rough. There we go. That's better. A rough game for Verlander. Well, really, a rough first inning. He cleaned it up marvelously and went 7 innings after giving up 4 in the first. Player of the game, I think we're going to have to go with... Zimmerman allowed 3, so I can't really give it to him. Player of the game, we're going to have to go with Castellanos. 2 RBIs in a 4-3 game. He scores 50% of your runs. He's your player of the game. He went 1 for 4, got 2 RBIs. So, good game for him. So, let's go ahead and plug that in to our bracket and make it official. First, I want to thank Beatles Eternally and Al Red Sox fan for joining us, and whoever else might be out there watching live or on demand. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So, let's go ahead and make that official in the bracket. So, final score to this one, Detroit wins it. Wins game 1, 4-3, and it'll be quite a while before we have game 2 in game 2 in Detroit, where Detroit will be looking to close out the Houston Astros, which I think would be a huge upset. But from all of us here at EOSN, thank you guys so much. We will be joining you again live in about 10 to 15 minutes for the Western Conference semifinal featuring the Arizona Coyotes taking on the St. Louis Blues. Should be a good one, and we will see you guys very, very soon.